Sid, I mentioned before the break the possibility of Eden Hazard going to Real Madrid, discussed on our transfer talk page. Any chance of this happening?
Yeah, I mean, the very fact that it's his dad that's intimating that he wants to wait and see on his Chelsea contract because he wants to make it possible for Real Madrid to come for him, if indeed they do, tells you that there's something in this that, you know, the source is a good one and it's a public one. And bear in mind the context of this, which is in the summer that's just gone, Real Madrid had in the build-up to that spoken to Hazard. They felt that there was a strong possibility of trying to bring him to Real Madrid. There was agreement over what would be the personal terms for him. But, of course, as often is forgotten in football, there are three sides to every deal. You have to have both clubs and the player. It was very, very difficult to get him out of Chelsea. So what Hazard's father is essentially saying now is that he wants to try and create a situation in which it would be easier to do so if this situation arises. Madrid are keen, Zidane really likes him, and of course, from his point of view, it's the chance to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but then you've got too many players, haven't you, Sid? You've got Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo,
yes,
Hazard, Isco. People's going to have to make way, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a flippant answer to that, Dan, as you know, which is when has that ever bothered them, having too many really, really great players. And, of course, there's an element of truth in that. Also, you have to remember the age of Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I'm not saying that he's coming towards the end necessarily, but it's certainly the transition to a kind of a post-Ronaldo era has to be thought about. There are doubts about Benzema in a way that there never were before. Even with the enormous amount of support that he's had from the manager and the president, there are doubts about Bale, and they want to see how he performs this year, in particular whether he can stay fit. And, you know, I think there's sadness rather than irritation with Bale over everything that's happened over the last year and a half or so with the injury. I think that the worrying thing from Madrid's point of view would be, how do you do this with Isco and Asensio in particular? Because these are guys who, in theory at least, should be at the very top of the Spanish game for the next 6 or 7 years.